Welcome to your mommy moves. Should I say moms? Hi, moms. So, yay, we made it to day 30. I hope you're giving yourself a big pat on the back, big round of applause, because you really, if you've stuck with me all these days, then you're going to feel really good in your body. I think you're going to have a lot of mind body connection, a lot of awareness about what's moving where, and maybe you're correcting your posture if you're starting to slouch or hunch over or whatever. If you're sagging on one hip, if you're on the couch too long in one position and you're not moving, you're mindful of those things. If that is all that happened, then hooray, hooray. I'm so happy. So today is a really special treat for our last mommy moves, our 30 days, 30 weekdays in a row of just consistent focus on moving our bodies in really intentional ways. So today's a nice treat. We're going to do like a body scan assessment. So I'm going to show you what I like to do and how I like to get into the nooks and crannies of my body and know like, okay, that's what's happening there. Okay, oh, that feels a lot better than it did last week. So let's do it. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. So we're gonna come down and get into Savasana. So start with getting some water first, and then lay down with me. Okay, hydrate, hydrate, and this will be a lot more enjoyable. All right, I've already hydrated, so been there, done that. Just before I pressed go. All right, so come lay down, and we're gonna just go straight into Shavasana, laying full body corpse pose out like this. Okay. I like to start from top to bottom. So what we'll do is we can lay just like this. If this is too uncomfortable for your low back to stay for a long time, go ahead and prop your feet and plant them about mat width distance and then knock your knees together. Okay, so that's going to drop your lumbar spine into the mat and it's going to feel a little bit more supportive to be here as we work on the upper body scan. And then we'll lay our legs flat when we move to the low body. Okay, so face up to the ceiling and arms. We're going to start with arms right beside us. And we're just going to literally feel what we're feeling. So what's touching the floor? How does it feel? How's our neck? How's the tension in our shoulders? What feels like it's protruding a little bit more than other parts of you into the mat? And what would that mean? So if I lifted one arm, does that alleviate some of the pressure on that side of the body? And this is what we're doing. We're literally just scanning from top to bottom. So right now we're in the shoulders and we're in the backbone, scapula specifically. I'm just moving my arms, one up, one down. And as I'm scanning, I'm noticing, oh, okay, so this left side feels really open. So that feels good. Yay. So we open that. I'm going to lay my legs flat. And then the right side. This one feels a little bit more tense. My right side, it's my dominant hand, so that makes sense. So what I want to do is just kind of like find some movement there, and I'll go arm up and then cactus arms like this, goalpost arms, whatever you want to call it. And then keeping my hand on the ground, I'm just kind of like finding this rotation. So I'm moving absolutely inside the rotator cuff. I'm moving in the shoulder. Okay. I'm staying where I feel like I'm getting a nice little relief. I personally like goalpost arms like this because it helps flatten that scapula against the muscle. And so the muscle can really relax where maybe there's a lot of tension. Okay, so now that we've done that, we've done a little bit of some realigning. I'm going to bring both arms down. And how does that feel? For me, it feels a lot better. So they feel more in line with one another. My scapula feels very flat to the mat, both sides even. I don't feel a lot of pressure from the muscle against the the shoulder blades or anything like that. And then if I were to cactus arms both, goalpost arms both arms, then that feels even better. But I am noticing this right shoulder still hiking up. So it hikes up higher than the left. So that makes me want to just work a little bit more on bringing that shoulder down. And this is really what it looks like. Just moving the body, moving the arm, moving the body part that needs a little bit more love. So I lifted my shoulder blade and put it back on the ground. That brought the shoulder down away from my neck, away from my ears, lengthen out the neck, and then I'm able to feel, okay, that feels a lot better. So you want to stay in this when you find that equilibrium, that alignment that you're searching for. You want to stay there a little bit longer. For me, this feels like my right arm is longer than my left. That's how off I've felt, right? And so we start to feel like, oh man, this is the normal. This is normal that I've got this uneven body structure because it's compensated so long that the unevenness feels natural, feels normal. But it's not, right? I mean, if somebody were to measure me, my fingers are probably even, my fingers to one another. We're going to focus on how it feels before we focus on how it looks, okay? Because that's what we've got. That's the tool we've got in our toolkit. All right, now we're going to move down the back. So we're into the thoracic spine still, and now we're moving into the lumbar spine. So I'm intentionally bending my knees, and I'm going to bring my knees into my chest, and I'm just going to roll it out. We've done this a lot in mommy moves. Rolling out side to side. Circle the knees. Switch directions. Breathe into wherever feels bumpy or uneven. All right. Now, drop the feet back onto the mat. So plant your feet. What do you feel in the hips? Because this affects the lumbar and everything above it. All that spine is resting on whatever your hip is doing. So for me, I'm still feeling the right side hiked up. So how am I going to correct that? I'm going to keep the left knee up and I'm going to lengthen the right leg down. So I'm getting this to open up, and I might have to move the leg a little bit. Okay. So I'm moving the leg just like we did the arm. Just like we kind of moved the arm around, I'm moving that leg. And this is organic, intuitive movement. Okay. You know exactly what you need when you spend the time with your body. And if you're just kind of learning, then copy what I'm doing on the hip that feels uneven, doing a little hop skip here with my right leg. And so this is inviting in a little bit more movement that maybe this right hip isn't not taking advantage of. I'm even going to roll onto my left side so that my hip really opens up. Long right leg in this shape. Okay, so that feels really good to me. Let's find out if that worked. Yes, it worked. Both hips are in alignment. This right hip just totally released itself back level with the left hip. Okay. And just to give my left hip some love, some opening, since it didn't need it, but you don't want to think it doesn't need it. Do a little bit of kind of the same thing you did on the other side. When we say we don't want anything uneven, we don't. But not every side needs the same stuff. So I'm just doing a quick little, it doesn't hurt to give each side some love. Now, if you fell off from alignment in your hips from just doing that on the side that really didn't need anything, then okay, you have to redo the side that hiked itself up again. For me, nothing took me out of alignment with that. In fact, I feel even better. I feel better that I spent a little bit of time on this left side, but my hips are still very even. Now I can drop my legs down to the floor, and this now I'm just kind of filling out what the leg is like. So we've got our low half to do. So let me come up so you can see my feet. And now this is going to feel like, okay, can I keep both feet straight up into the air? So both sets of toes are pointing up to the sky. And that gives me some insight into, okay, how's my hip structure coming down into my leg? Is it still even? I'm still finding some levelness here. It's fine for me here. And then my thighs feel fine. How do my feet feel? So it feels like the right leg is maybe a little bit longer than the left. And so if I'm feeling fine from my hips to my knees, I know it's from my knees to my ankle that's doing the unevenness. So this, I get to roll this leg out. Okay. Roll that foot out, I should say. Roll the ankle. And this is where a foam roller would really be nice, into the calf muscle to loosen the calf. Maybe there's a lot of tension in that right calf that's making that, rather, if it's feeling longer, then I need to do some opening of this left calf. So this is feeling good. I'm going to keep this, especially if one leg feels longer, it's getting the brunt of the force when you walk. And so you definitely need to lengthen out the opposite side. But give this one some love. If that's what you're feeling, that it's longer, it's definitely getting the brunt of the force. So you gotta open it up. Again, organic, intuitive movements. Now we move to the left side. So this is the shorter side. So for me, it's probably going to be, this left calf is really tight. Okay, so I can do some rollout kind of in the mat. I don't necessarily need to grab the foam roller, but I would definitely, if I had more than 5 minutes, I would get into with the foam roller into the sides that need a little bit more love after the scan is done. Okay, so same thing here. Roll out the ankle, and then I feel a lot of like flex in the left calf. So I know that's a lot of reason why I've got the feeling of a shorter left side. And so I'm just going to roll it out. And then same with the ankle, same with the feet. Pedal both feet. Open the toes wide. And then here, the inner ball mount of the foot, press it forward, press it down, like away from the body. And so that really opens up this left foot, because I know there is some problems there. I've always had issues with this left foot. And so if I'm pressing the gas with the big toe and the ball mount into that gas pedal on both feet, so I've got gas pedals on both feet and pressing it down, and even making that kind of stiletto heel because I'm pressing it forward so much, that really releases a lot of the lactic acid, that buildup of tension and stress, that now I get to release that. And so that feels really good. Little windshield wiper here. And then now I get to assess. Now both legs feel good and level. My whole body feels in right alignment with where I want to be. Even to the point where we didn't do this, but let's do the neck. So I should have done this early on, but side to side, how's the neck feeling? We did this really early on, I want to say in one of the first 2 mommy moves of these 30 days. And we were kind of seeing, does the ear touch the mat? See where you are now. Okay, that felt really good. But that my neck feels even. So I apologize for not cueing the neck. That is important. And even to the point where you could bring one ear to the shoulder and then switch opposite ear to the opposite shoulder and just staying there. Keep your shoulders flat against the mat. And then back into our starting position, Shavasana. How do you feel? Scan your body, give it some love, breathe in and out. That feels great. For me, I definitely needed that. All right, so how do we get out of this? A couple ways. Bend your knees. You can drop into fetal position just like that. I personally like to rock and roll, so I'll take my hands behind my thighs and rock and roll the length of the mat. And we're done. I guess Daddy couldn't keep this one back. He's home from school today. All right, say bye. Bye, Mama. Oh my goodness. All right. How do you feel? I hope you feel great. And that concludes our 30 days of mommy moves. I'll pop in every so often and do some more mommy moves. But if you've got questions about how do I do this and what do I do here and oh, my body's feeling this way, I will gladly help and offer some advice. Peace.